Hi everybody, I bought a thing. So, I actually bought a few things. So, I'll make a playlist about this, and I'll have 4 parts of it today, and what I get in the rest, who knows? But, I have no idea how to pronounce, well, you'll see in the title of this video. GUWEIZ, the art of GU space ZHENG space WEI. I have no idea how to pronounce that. But this book cost $42.99. I saw several books. I was on the fence about a lot of them. Which I'll talk about more. I looked through this one a little bit, though I would say when I was flipping through the pages, this picture, the one on the left. The picture on the left. Actually, I can probably read the excerpt from the book. If I can function well enough to turn pages. And remember what page. Give me a moment. There we go. Horned, which is the title of this piece. The one on the left. The blue one. The blue-haired one. You guys know I suck at sizing windows. A blue-haired demon looks longingly toward the skies. My early pieces didn't make much functional sense, but instead concentrated on capturing the fantasy look. This was a big breakout piece for me. Well, I'll say this. Amazing artist whose name I have no idea how to pronounce. It's definitely caught my attention. I was on the fence about whether or not to buy this book or not, and that picture made me decide to buy this book. The very back of the book says, I see this book as an offering of substance and value for my supportive audience, as well as a tangible milestone in my creative adventure. Through this book, I chart my journey and experiences that have helped shape my work into what it is today. And then it says his name, which I have no idea how to say. It also says, apparently, like I said, I paid $42.99 American US dollars. But apparently, if this was like in the UK, it also lists the UK price, which is apparently 27.99 euros. It also states that one tree is planted for every book sold. But and it's just, in general, as I was flipping through this book, which I have not had a chance to read yet, it is, and I'll say this, I'm not sure, like, on page 30, granted, I don't really care for the whole smoking thing where the person's smoking. Don't really like that, but, you know, I'm not the artist. But there's plenty of anime I enjoy that also have individuals that do stuff like that, but that's just not something I really cared for. And I just don't like the smell. But looks like the same character from the cover. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not really saying a lot. A lot of this stuff is either, some of it's like samurai, some of it's like witch, demon, potentially even angel. There's a woman playing a violin here. The violinist too. A musician plays a somber melody atop a big city roof. This piece is a companion to violinist, as I really liked the angle and pose and wanted to try it again in a different setting. Managing scale and spacing in a scene that has been challenging for me, I feel it's all worth it to present a believable yet dreamy scene. See Project Insight of Violinist on page 86. And of course, this is on page 43. Up here it's saying people are constantly eager to see original work, and it's our job as artists to develop the skills to communicate those unique concepts clearly. This is an amazing book, and in general I think this playlist will be me making videos about stuff that I think is awesome, particularly if I buy something, or which I'm not going to like make a video about everything I ever buy or about everything I ever do. But, you know, like take the dupe aspect. I haven't been to a concert in forever, and I used to go to a bunch of those. If I ever go to another one of those, you know, I'll probably make a video talking about it at least. maybe I'll have footage. I don't know. I'm not really, tech savvy, I guess. More illiterate and incompetent, I guess. But it's just, the art of this book is amazing. And like I said, I've never been to an anime convention before. If I ever do go to one, I'll probably post about it in this playlist. But I'll make 4 parts in this playlist today. One for each of the things I want to talk about. By the way, are you guys familiar with the Lunar paradox? Which actually can refer to many different things. Because apparently if you have a giant fucking object in the sky, people are going to use it in the names of many different things. Because apparently people all over the world can see this very big fucking shiny object in the sky that, is, the moon. Okay, that was a little silly. But yeah, like Lunar paradox. 1, I'm going to take it to, be talking about me. Also, it's about the whole lunar appetite, where, how a lot of stuff on there shows evidence of magma and water. There's also the whole stuff about light versus darkness, or the whole thing through mythology of the past, like, oh yeah, the effects it has on people, that a full moon stuff. Then of course there's all sorts of, debates and scientific issues when it comes to the way gravity is with the moon. Not just how it affects our tide, but it's actually, considered that even though the moon is, orbiting the Earth, it's to be seen that the sun actually has a far greater gravitational effect on the moon. Because while the sun is a much larger object, with a much stronger gravitational force, the moon is a lot closer to the Earth. So, yeah, it's just a lot of things how, like, the sun actually has more of an impact gravitationally on the moon than what the Earth does. Which means a change to the sun would have a far greater change to the moon than what a change to the Earth would. Which is kind of weird. Then there's whole stuff about, the lens effect, being on the horizon, and the effects on size and color of the moon from, the atmosphere acting like a magnifying glass. Another thing is there's a type of rock called apatite, A-P-A-T-I-T-E, which it's cool. It's also the same color as this, left picture's hair. It's blue. Kind of reminds me of lapis. So I wonder how it would be as a sword, or maybe as a card figurine. Granted, you wouldn't be able to add color to it, I don't believe. Anyway, off topic. But yeah, this book is amazing. I haven't had a chance to sit down and really read it yet. But honestly, it's just, I feel like this might be the best art I've ever seen in my life. And granted, don't get me wrong, I appreciate art of the past as well. But it's just, and I'll say this, while, it definitely seems like almost every picture in this, well, there's a couple pictures of cats, but it does seem that every picture in here is of a woman, and yet, while I would say every single one of these pictures is, well, not only masterfully done, well, like this one, page 100. It's called Swirls. A tattooed mercenary goes for a casual stroll through the town square. Using patterns and textures, especially in great detail, is a skill I'm still developing. They can add so much interest to existing elements and open up composition and narrative options. However, applying surface pattern designs at a believable detailed level can be time-consuming. Not to mention designing the original motifs in the first place. And then it says down here, as we humans are drawn to the faces of other humans, the face becomes a natural focal point in artwork. And there's 2 different scales that you see in this picture. It does seem that a lot of the people in his drawings have, one, jewelry that's lit up, particularly earrings that are light bulbs, except, more like a Japanese lantern, but as a tasteful piece of jewelry. But it's just not... I don't think it's something I've seen in not only real life. I don't think I've seen it in any kind of art before. I don't think I've seen it in any movies. I don't think I've ever even seen it in anime before. I don't know if that... The idea of, like... Because type in the name, the title of this video, and, like, Google search for books. You'll see a woman in a hat and a cloak. And she's also got the earring thing. And, sorry, that is, scratch my nose. And it's just... And like I said, it's just... Like, the other books I have, they are lewd. They are lewd. I will get to those in the next parts of the video. Also, I got something that wasn't a book. That'll probably be part 2. Or 3. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'll get to it. Like, here's the thing, though. I don't, like, type in the name of this person and the book, the title of this video, and then type in the word swirls. Sorry. Sorry, getting distracted. But it's absolutely amazing. And it's like, there's nothing lewd about this artwork. Like I said, go to Google Images, and like, I swear it's safe for work. It's just captivating. Especially, like, the eyes. There is so much detail. And it's... On the one hand, the character looks very strongly of an anime style. At the same time, if there was a real human being that literally looked exactly like this in real life, and I don't even mean just the equivalent of it in, the real world. I mean, literally the exact color palette and everything that I'm seeing here. I don't know how to describe this. Like, damn. It's like, I don't know how to describe this. Like, on the one hand, the earring jewelry thing, I don't think I've seen that anywhere ever before. Now, granted, it does seem like every character in this is a woman. And they're amazingly beautiful. I mean, first off, the art style itself, like, it's masterful. It's amazing. It's like the greatest art I've ever seen in my life. I do notice that almost, like, all of them are smoking or have a cigarette in their hand, which, again, I shouldn't really knock. I mean, most of my friends have smoked. So, and I've dated women that smoked. Granted, I don't like the smell or taste of it. Because that's the thing, like, even when you're like, especially if you're like, you're biting a girl's neck, you can kind of taste, it on the person's neck, to the point that, tell the person, just try to wash a little bit, just because it just seems like the smell soaks into everything around it. And like I'll say this, I like nice smelling things. I like to smell nice. I've never been to an anime convention, but I hear these things that apparently people smell bad when they go to those things, and I don't understand that, because I like to smell good. Like, if you wonder what I smell like, the AZZARO, the Azaro Wanted Collection, it's a glass gun revolver. I also might wear a little Mont Blanc red, or mix in some other colognes. I'm thinking about trying to get the ones Material and Boundless that I saw in the ASMR video by Made in France, the Tingle Perfumer, which, that is, oh my god, the production values in that video. That guy actually should be an actual movie cinematographer. Actually, I'm looking forward to John Wick 4. I think he would actually be really good at actually doing film work for John Wick. I think Keanu Reeves and Made in France, I think they should hook up. Work together on projects, because that'd be pretty cool. Okay, I'm off topic. Main point I'm trying to say is like take this picture. Like I said, type in the title of this video. Like, I'm not going to respell the title because when you see it, and two, I already did. And I'm not going to spell it swirls because you guys know. Then again, I do talk kind of soft and quiet. You might not be able to hear me correctly. I'm not sure if you can correctly understand what I'm saying. But yeah, swirls. SWIRLS. I mean, it's honestly an amazingly beautiful red-haired woman. Hell, I'd fucking marry her. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. And here's the thing. While I am somebody who really does read and look at a lot of lewd things, it's just, I'm not even thinking anything sexual looking at this. I'm just in absolute awe of the amount of skill it would have taken. And probably how many hours, if not days, if not, and I mean literal, like 24-hour increments of just, because no matter how skilled you are, I imagine, like, even if you were the most gifted artist in the world, that this would have been, just this piece alone, would have taken so long and so many tries. Would have been so many failed attempts. Oh my god. The amount of fucking dedication. And like I said, no matter how much dedication he has either, I mean, he has to have a natural fucking gift to be able to do this. But even if you're the most gifted person in the world, this requires so much hard work. I mean, it is a very, very beautiful red-haired woman standing in the rain, holding a cigarette that's still lit despite it's, raining. And it's just the detail and everything. I mean, I feel like if there's one artist out there that is immune to the effects of Uncanny Valley, it's this guy. Because that's that thing where people, like, they can't cross that line between, either non-realistic and realistic, to where if you you don't cross it correctly, then you either have to have photorealism or you have to have a cartoony, stylish sort of style. That if you try to make something look realistic, you don't quite make photorealistic. I mean, you can either make something that looks dead inside or dead. Like, dead inside, I mean, like, I'm not knocking. I like Final Fantasy Spirits Within. It's an amazing movie. And the animation, CGI stuff, was almost sci-fi cutting edge for the time it came out. But the characters looked kind of flat. There was no real shading properly for the skin tones. And the eyes just looked dead. And that's the thing. That was the whole thing with the Uncanny Valley, is that the person who originally started making robots found that if you made the robots look slightly more human, people liked them more. But when it came to the point that it looked almost human, but you could tell right away that it wasn't, it just would freak people out. It would create a feeling of revulsion and disgust and absolute terror and fear in people. And yet, there's none of that. It's more like, I just feel like I'm completely captivated by this. That it's just so much awe. And it's, I don't know the best way to describe it. Like, it just feels very vibrant. It feels alive. It feels like every curve, every ribbon, every part, it just feels like there's so much more importance to everything in the picture. Even the, sort of blurry buildings in the background, because, the main focus is the woman right here. And of course you have a closer picture on the left where it's like mainly centered on the face. And then on the right, you have a wider shot going from the tip of the head to, I'd say, slightly above the waist. And here's the thing. The woman is wearing quite revealing clothing. I'm pretty sure I can see where her nipples are. It's like... And it's almost like a modern take on a samurai outfit, because... what is it called again? A sashimi? Or that thing where you wrap around the stomach so if you get slashed, your internal organs don't spill out. But of course, she's got that wrapped around her chest and certain parts of her arm as well. I think that'd be where the brachial artery would be. So that way you don't get that cut and you'll bleed to death. How much did samurais back in the feudal age Japan know about arteries? Like, I'm sure they knew that if you cut in certain areas that, you'd bleed more. But, I mean, how much, this would have been what? Between 1,200 and 1,400 years ago? How much did people know about, the artery system inside the circulatory system? To the point that they would be able to, wrap around a protective cloth around certain areas to sort of prevent fatal bleeding. Then again, it would be kind of interesting to see a comparison from all the different countries of the world about where people were in different skills. Whether, like, say, medical field. Like, how were doctors? Like in 700 AD, in 1,300 years ago, what were doctors doing in Japan? Like if somebody got stabbed, as opposed to people in England, or in Russia, or Australia, or Turkey, or Germany, or France or Spain. I mean, I don't know, I'm getting off topic, I'm sorry. I'm trying to focus on this book, and it's just... Like I said, type in the name of this book and type in swirls. You'll see a very beautiful red-haired woman. I don't know, I feel like this is an impact on Einstein's theory of relativity. That it's just... I don't know how to describe it. It's like... that thing where you feel like time feels like it's moving at a slightly different speed than what it's supposed to be? And almost like the frame rate of the world itself, that you're perceiving is not normal. And that it's just that the feeling that certain aspects are just more, that there's more contrast to everything around you. That there's more, that you're just, I don't know. I really don't know how to describe this. It's like, I don't know. But it's just, like, on the one hand, I would say this is very, very realistic. To the point that if you were to see this person walking around the street, you wouldn't be taken aback at all in terms of that, whether or not the person should belong there in regard to, they look like they are the right color palette of, real life. At the same time, it's very distinctly anime. Like, it's very distinctly that it's an anime sort of style. I mean, there's so much detail with the eyes. I mean, you could almost swear this character is fucking breathing. It's just... And I'll say this. Absolutely, not only the art incredible, but just the woman drawn here is just... I think that if you were to see her in real life, you'd just be... You wouldn't know what to say to her. You'd actually be like, is it possible for a person in real life to actually look this pretty? Yeah, and I'm looking back where her nipples are. Like I said, you can't clearly see it. Okay, now I'm thinking lewd thoughts. Great. Well, that lasted, let's see, we're 25 minutes into... Okay, 25 and a half minutes before I started thinking about sex. I was thinking about how beautiful she was, but I wasn't thinking about sex. Now I'm thinking about sex. Now I'm picturing it. Okay, so... Now I'm thinking lewd thoughts. Okay. We almost made half an hour. So that would have been a world record, at least for me, I guess. Anyway. Main thing I'm trying to say is this. Just, yeah, type in the word swirls in Google Images with this character, with the title of this book. It's just... Like I said, I spent $42.99 plus tax, U.S. American dollars, and it was worth every fucking cent. It's just... But here's the thing. I like a lot of the stuff in this playlist will be things that I'm going to drink a little Mountain Dew. It's just absolutely incredible. It's worth every cent. But like the videos I make in this playlist when it comes to things I buy will be things that I really don't think would translate very well to, because like I can read a graphic novel. But this is like trying to describe colors to a blind person. I mean, you have to actually see it. And honestly, I feel it's a disservice to actually, do a bunch of videos posting on the different things just because you guys know how shitty I am with sizing. It's just, and even then, I know the quality of the picture I'm using for the thumbnail is just, limitations of my computer and everything. So, and it doesn't do it any justice. Because while you can see that it's a good picture there, I admit that my ability to capture a thumbnail with OBS is very lacking. And the quality, it's like trying to have a fucking video game meant for 4K HD being shown on a F20p phone. There's no way you're going to see the quality that I'm seeing here. And it's just... And a lot of these characters are very... Like, they're shown as, like, samurais. And it's just... I feel like these could be, like, playable characters. In, like, the next... Like, Dark Souls 4. Like, I feel like these pictures could be used as a part of a Dark Souls 4 game. And it's just... Oh my god. Like, here's on page... There's no number on either of these. That's 63. Oh, wow. 63, 62. Okay, so 60... 60... So 60 and 61? Wow. Project Insight War 2.5. Tools. Oh, I think he's got a picture of his studio here. It's absolutely amazing. Here's one called High Rise. Person's walking with, I believe, a guitar case. And a cat. And see a lot of skyscrapers in the distance. There's a woman in like a Victorian outfit with what appears to be a flintlock pistol. Ooh, there's a bunny. Oh, there's a person playing guitar. Project Insight concert. It's just, like I said, there's nothing I can really say. And it's like, I can't really show a picture with this. Because it's just showing all these pictures, there's no way that it's going to convey just how amazing it is. Because, like I said, those pictures you see there, I know that my thumbnail quality for how I have this recorded is horrible. But it's just yeah, this artist whose name I don't know how to pronounce. I think you may be the greatest artist that has ever lived on the planet. I think you are absolutely amazing. And I think everyone in the world should buy your book. Like, I'm not sure like how, like, I got this from a Barnes and Noble. After spending a couple hours just wandering around looking at all sorts of books and stuff. I also stopped by an anime place later and spent a half hour or so there. Hey, there was one book by a Monte Cook company that's some RPG called Invisible Sun. And there was like the key, and then there was the map, and the way, the path. And in one book called the Tetralogy, there's a book of entities, and one was kind of interesting, called the Kesselvarian, which is Wish Granter, which Kesselvarian is K-E-S-T-E... Damn it, I misspelled it. K-E-S-T-L-E-V-A-R-I-A-N. Which is just, it was an interesting drawing that they had for that. But it's almost a relatively obscure and unknown RPG as far as I'm aware, because you don't find many results for it on YouTube, on Google. And it's fascinating. I find lots and lots of things. But of course I did not buy that because I still, I'm not rich, so I can't buy everything. But there are some things you absolutely have to buy. And I saw this book, I was a little on the fence, and like I said, I saw the picture that, the blue-haired girl right there, and I'm like, and of course, it's just, I can't say it enough. I feel that this person who I don't even know how to say this name. I don't even know how to say this name. At all. But this is the most amazing artwork I have ever seen. It is better, and I know everything in terms of beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and everything's subjective, and I guess everyone's opinions are different than mine. But at least in my opinion, to my tastes, to my preferences, to what I like, to what I find impressive, to what captivates me, to what just... I feel everyone in the world should buy this book. I feel that, if you can get to a Barnes & Noble and pick one up, if you can order it online, I think everyone should buy this book. It's amazing. Part 2, 3, and 4. I got a thing about juggling, because I'm going to try to juggle, because I do 50 billion things as is. I also got the Monster Girl Encyclopedia by Kenko Cross, which was $30, but, it's pretty much hentai. As I then pick up the other book I got, which is called Booty Royale, Never Go Down Without a Fight, and we appear to have a Neko in as little clothing as possible. There's barely enough clothing to not classify this as porn. Now, I'll go into more detail about that in another one. This was $20. But, yeah, this one's a manga. And it is definitely, it's rated mature, and it even says, warning, parental advisory, explicit content. So, yeah. But, yeah, we'll get to that stuff in future videos. But, yeah, I just wanted to focus on the book, which is in the title of this video, which I can't pronounce. It's this is the most amazing art ever, and I can't pronounce the title of the book. I can't pronounce the artist. I can't. I don't even know how the letters would. I could guess, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be correct. But it's just, this is amazing. This is the greatest art. And like I said, it's not lewd. This is not lewd. This book is not lewd at all. But like I said, there are very, very pretty... Ooh, there's a cat. It's called the platform. A smiley cat. Oh, it is smiley. A smiley cat. Man, like I said, the palette's a little different for that. But honestly, while it's not a realistic style for that, it's not really a style I'm familiar with either. It's amazing. A smiley cat. I can't talk. I'm going to take another drink of Mountain Dew. Okay. Platform. On page 47. A smiley cat sits on its resident train station platform. Unfazed by the crowd and loud trains, this was an experiment with an unorthodox composition and perspective. With our usual human character essentially being a prop, everything else receives more focus. Yeah, because you can see a person's legs, in front of it. But you can tell that despite it being closer to the perspective of the fictional camera that would exist in the virtual reality world that is this book, you can tell that even though it's in front, it's more of a background. That, the cat is the focus of this picture. That you look at, and that's the thing, you look at any of these pictures, and, everything about, here's the thing of a woman with a red and white umbrella, and, she's in nature, there's a staircase, there's a bunch of trees, there's snow everywhere, and some rocks. Everything has so much detail. It's so fucking amazing. And yet, your eyes instantly go to her. It's just... everything has so much... It's just... everything. It's like nothing was neglected in this picture. And yet, when you look at it, you are instantly drawn. You are instantly just sort of enraptured into where the artist wants you to look. It's just... this is absolutely amazing. It's just... and it goes on and on. There are segments I could read, but, I won't be able to show all the pictures and everything. I'd probably just make a long video where I would just read everything, but I would just have one picture for the whole time. Probably the title of the book. But, and yeah, that whole light up earring thing seems to be and it's just, it's almost like, I don't know. It kind of makes me think you took pieces of glowstone out of Minecraft or pieces of nether out of Minecraft and you made them realistic and part of the world. And I know that sounds a little silly, but it's just but if you're looking at the picture, the piece called Autumn, and just the way the trees are drawn, she's got little bells on her feet. There's lots more belt buckles around, but then again, they're functional. Because like I said, I know a lot of anime characters, even Hot Topic store shit, where there's extra belts and shit, where I'm there's times where I've criticized certain animes. Do I see a character with a bunch of little belts on it that's purely for aesthetic purposes? And while, okay, it looks cool, gives the character a unique look, it's not functional. There's no reason. You even look at it. I think when I was playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth, I was bitching about looking at the fucking belts, and I'm that's not even how belts work. It shouldn't even be staying there. And even if it was, it's not accomplishing anything. Here, not only are there multiple sashes and tied objects and ropes, and the things we use, ribbons as part of a clothing to keep something tight. Back before we had elastic drawstrings, as part of clothing. And you see belts on her arm and everything. But they're functional. Because she's a samurai. And a lot of this stuff is attached into either battle gauntlets or things for weapons. And they're actually drawn in a way that would actually hold to a person, be more ergonomic, be less likely to injure you, and then even the buckles are in a place where they're minimize the risk to you, but you could even use that as a weapon. But it's just, oh, then she had a bell around her neck, but it's not in like a choker fashion. It's a loose sort of necklace to where it would be comfortable, but it wouldn't be swinging around wildly if you're like fighting in a fucking samurai showdown. And is that like a cat? Yeah, this little black kitty next to her. And it's just, there's rain. It's just, I mean, the stone bench she's sitting on. Everything about the outfit. The trees. The trees themselves, the bark, the wood, the leaves, the rain, the water. It's just, there's so much detail. It's amazing. I think everyone in the world should buy this book. This is the most amazing art I've ever seen and probably will ever see. And while I do like other arts for other things, and like I said, the women in this are very beautiful, but it's safe for work. None of them are naked or anything or do anything explicit. Granted, they are very beautiful, and some of them wearing a bit less clothing, but it's still suitable for public. Like, I wouldn't even call it ecchi, but it's amazing, and the women in this are just, they're absolutely beautiful. And it's just, like, here's the page 65. It's called Hood. And it's just, the lighting. Though it does seem that this artist is a big fan of weather playing a part. But it's just, everything seems so dynamic, so alive. So that, like, it's like the most amazing art ever. I hope I dream about the pictures in this book every night for the rest of time. It's that good. Well, I'll end this video. I hope everyone out there has good dreams. Well, later, guys.